HighBridge, a division of Recorded Books, presents What Do I Eat Now? A step-by-step guide to eating right with type 2 diabetes. By Tammy A. Ross, RDN, LD, CDE, MLDE, and Patti B. Geil, MS, RDN, CDE, MLDE, FAND, FAADE. Read by Joanna Perrin. The suggestions and information contained in this publication are generally consistent with the standards of medical care in diabetes and other policies of the American Diabetes Association, but they do not represent the policy or position of the association or any of its boards or committees. Reasonable steps have been taken to ensure the accuracy of the information presented. However, the American Diabetes Association cannot ensure the safety or efficacy of any product or service described in this publication. Individuals are advised to consult a physician or other appropriate healthcare professional before undertaking any diet or exercise program or taking any medication referred to in this publication. Professionals must use and apply their own professional judgment, experience, and training, and should not rely solely on the information contained in this publication before prescribing any diet, exercise, or medication. The American Diabetes Association, its officers, directors, employees, volunteers, and members assumes no responsibility or liability for personal or other injury, loss, or damage that may result from the suggestions or information in this publication. Dr. Maria Mapanamunda conducted the internal review of this book to ensure that it meets American Diabetes Association guidelines. Introduction. Change for the better. Perhaps you've just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, or maybe you've had diabetes for some time and haven't been able to control your blood glucose levels to the degree that you'd like. Whether you are newly diagnosed or have a newfound interest in diabetes self-management, you'll discover that healthy eating is fundamental to taking good care of yourself. Managing type 2 diabetes can feel like an overwhelming challenge at times. Research has shown that if an individual with type 2 diabetes who takes an oral medication followed all of the standard recommendations for self-care, it would consume 143 minutes of each day. Those 2 or more hours spent each day checking blood glucose levels, taking medication, exercising, and eating right translate into a part-time job. Even more, it probably wouldn't surprise you to find out that of the 143 minutes required to care for your diabetes, almost half of them would be related to food, meal planning, shopping, and preparing meals. Add to this the often conflicting nutrition advice you hear from friends and the media. It's enough to make you throw up your hands in frustration and shout, "Can't somebody just tell me what to eat?" How this book can help. What Do I Eat Now has been written to help simplify your life with diabetes by leading you through basic nutrition survival skills and behavior changes. Your food and nutrition options are clearly outlined, and you will be given specific meal menus with simple, wholesome recipes. At the same time, you will learn about a diabetes nutrition topic in each chapter and see the next steps you need to take to reach your goal of healthier eating. Over time, the lessons you learn can help you make the right food decisions in whatever situations you may face, from eating out to surviving holidays to enjoying favorite family recipes. We routinely hear from our patients that making those better-for-you food decisions soon becomes habit. Each chapter of What Do I Eat Now contains a menu for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack time, or a special occasion. The menus provide you with 2 options, a meal of 45 to 60 grams of carbohydrate or one with 60 to 75 grams of carbohydrate. You can choose the option that best meets your individual nutrition needs. You'll also find tips for making each menu simpler and quicker. If grams of carbohydrate are new to you, an explanation will follow in Chapter 2. a recipe from that chapter's menu, complete with nutrition analysis. By the time you finish this book, you'll have many quick, easy, and delicious recipes to add to your personal collection. Remember, the best nutrition plan is one that's individualized based on your food preferences to help you achieve optimal diabetes control and overall health. Work with your registered dietitian or registered dietitian nutritionist, RD or RDN, and diabetes healthcare team to determine which menus, recipes, and tips are right for you. Preparation is the secret to success. The first step to achieving success in following a healthy meal plan for diabetes is to visualize what that success looks like for you. How do you see yourself managing your meal plan a month from now? Will you be eating breakfast every morning? Will you have replaced your mid-afternoon run to the vending machine with a healthy snack from home? Will you be making better choices in the grocery store based on what you read on food labels? Take the first step by imagining where you would like to be a month from now, and then start making plans to learn and do what you need to do to make your vision a reality. Setting goals and taking action. As you work through this book, you will be making great strides. The first step to moving forward is to set goals for your nutrition plan over the next month. Your diabetes management will have new meaning when you set goals and go after them with enthusiasm. Of course, you might not accomplish every goal you set. Nearly no one does. But having goals and striving to reach them is what really matters. Setting goals sounds like a big job, but smart goal setting gives you a framework for getting it done, as well as a better chance of succeeding at your goals. SMART, S-M-A-R-T, is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, the 5 qualities that you should aim for when setting goals. Create an action plan for results by setting goals that are specific. A specific goal has a greater chance of being achieved. Measurable. Measuring progress keeps you on track. Achievable. An achievable goal is tied to small, easily accomplished steps. Realistic. A realistic goal is one you are willing and able to work toward. Time-bound. A time frame gives you a sense of urgency. Here are a few imprecise diabetes nutrition goals translated into SMART format. Initial goal. I will eat more fruits and vegetables. SMART goal. I will have a medium fresh orange for breakfast 3 days this week. Initial goal. I will eat healthier on the road. SMART goal. I will order a side salad instead of French fries at lunch 5 days a week and have the dressing on the side. Initial goal. I will choose better snacks. SMART goal. I will eat a snack of whole grain crackers and low-fat cheese from home instead of going to the vending machine every afternoon at work. Behavior is what you do, not what you know. Diabetes is unlike other medical conditions in one important way. Individuals with diabetes manage their own condition 95% of the time. It's not possible or practical for you to ask for medical advice every time you plan to eat, take your medication, or deal with a minor illness. When you walk out of your diabetes healthcare team's office, you are the one who will make the day-to-day decisions about your diabetes care. Of course, you will have a team of health professionals available as needed, but ultimately, the responsibility for your diabetes care rests with you. To be a successful self-manager and enjoy good health and well-being, you need to know the facts about managing your diabetes, specifically your blood glucose goals, how much carbohydrate you should eat, and the type and amount of physical activity you need each day. This knowledge can be gained through sessions with your diabetes healthcare team and from the many resources available to you in print and online. However, knowing what you need to do and actually doing it are two very different things. For instance, after consulting with your healthcare team, you may know that you personally should walk at least 30 minutes every day, but maybe you can't seem to find the time. Or you know you've been advised to check your blood glucose at least twice each day, But sticking your finger is not fun, so you avoid it. And you know that third piece of pizza will send your blood glucose skyrocketing, but it just tastes so good. How many times have you said, "I know what I should do, but I just can't seem to do it"? Over the years, diabetes health professionals have come to realize that in addition to providing education, helping individuals with diabetes change their behavior is the key to successful diabetes self-management. Much research has been done in the area of behavior change. While working in the area of addiction, Professor of Psychology Dr. James Prochaska and colleagues developed the trans-theoretical model of change as a way of explaining why certain individuals were able to change poor habits, while others were stuck and unable to adopt healthier actions. According to Prochaska's stages of change model, people are in different stages regarding their readiness to adopt a healthy behavior or stop an unhealthy one, and this affects their ability to change. These stages of change are pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance. Prochaska's work has been translated into the area of diabetes self-management education, helping health professionals match their education efforts and advice to the needs of the specific individual with diabetes at any one time, no matter which stage of change that individual currently occupies. You'll now hear some examples of how the stages of change might apply to someone with type 2 diabetes who is overweight. State of change. Pre-contemplation. Characteristics. Unaware that change is needed or having no intention of changing. Weight loss example. I feel fine, even though I might be a few pounds overweight. State of change. Contemplation. Characteristics. Intends to change in the next 6 months, aware of the benefits and costs of change. Weight loss example. I will try to lose some weight. It will help improve my blood glucose, but I don't know if I can give up my wife's home cooking. State of change. Preparation. Characteristics. Ready to change in the next 30 days, taking steps to begin making a change. Weight loss example. I've looked at all the diets out there. I think I'll stick with the meal plan the registered dietitian nutritionist made with me at my last visit. State of change. Action. Characteristics. Has been making changes within the past 6 months. Weight loss example. I've been following my meal plan and weighing myself every week for the past month. State of change. Maintenance. Characteristics. Has successfully made a change for more than 6 months, making efforts to avoid slipping into past behaviors. Weight loss example. Since the holidays are coming up, I need to plan on sticking with my current strategies so I won't gain weight again this year. Although you might progress through the stages of change in an orderly fashion, change doesn't always come smoothly. At times you may move 1 stage forward, then 2 stages back, but you can learn from your mistakes and use them to move forward again. For example, let's say you begin a weight loss program at the first of the year, but due to stress at home and on the job, you've gone back to your old ways of eating and just can't find the energy to start your meal plan again. Suddenly, you've moved from action back to pre-contemplation. The important thing is to learn some healthy ways to cope with stress and move back into action again. As you think about your own diabetes situation, you might find that you're in a different stage of change for each area of diabetes management. For example, you could be in the maintenance stage for physical activity because you've been walking 10,000 steps 3 times a week for the past year. However, you might still be in the contemplation stage regarding blood glucose monitoring because you are just beginning to realize the benefits that knowing your numbers could add to your diabetes management. Take a moment to congratulate yourself on those behavior changes you've successfully accomplished. And for those areas that might still need work, think about the benefits and costs of making progress on them. If you decide that now is the time to jump into action, take the first step by calling your diabetes healthcare team and asking for the help you need. They will be pleased to assist you in moving towards better diabetes self-management. Here's to successful self-management. It's been said that a goal without a plan is just a wish. As you move through each chapter of What Do I Eat Now?, you will be guided in making nutrition goals and specific action plans, and you will discover a variety of menus and recipes that you may enjoy and that can work for you. Remember, you are the manager of your diabetes. Let's start on the road to good nutrition by taking the next step to successful self-management. Take a moment to jot down your goals under Next Steps. Keep them where you can look at them often. We'll be revisiting your goals in Chapter 11, so you can celebrate what you've accomplished. Of course, you can't accomplish all of your goals at once. Prioritize the goals that are important to you. Which one will you work on first? Which will have the most impact on your health? Listing your goals in order of importance and then starting with only the first goal on the list will focus your efforts, help you feel less overwhelmed, and reward you with a sense of accomplishment. Chapter 1. Diabetes and Nutrition 101. Today is the first day of your journey to good health and well-being with a top-notch diabetes nutrition plan. As you learned in the introduction, the majority of diabetes care is self-care. Managing your nutrition when you have diabetes involves learning as much as you can about your condition, as well as making positive behavior changes related to food. It's time to get started learning about diabetes and its relationship to food. Welcome to Diabetes and Nutrition 101. Even if you've just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, you may be surprised to find that you could have had diabetes for quite some time. This is because type 2 diabetes usually develops gradually, and its symptoms can be so subtle that they may go unnoticed for a while. Looking back, you might realize that you had some of these classic diabetes symptoms even before you were diagnosed. Urinating often, feeling very thirsty, feeling very hungry, unusual fatigue, blurry vision, cuts and bruises that are slow to heal, unexplained weight loss, tingling, pain, or numbness in your hands or feet, dry or itchy skin, recurring infections. Many people ignore these symptoms or simply chalk them up to getting older. Then they put off visiting their healthcare provider because the symptoms don't seem serious, which further delays the diabetes diagnosis. If you have already been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, then you may know that your family could also have an increased risk for the condition. Fortunately, the same healthy eating and physical activity plan that you will be following can give your family members a better chance at delaying or preventing type 2 diabetes if they join you in your journey toward health and well-being. What is type 2 diabetes? Can it be prevented? Type 2 diabetes is a lifelong condition marked by high levels of glucose, sugar, in the blood. It begins when the body does not respond correctly to insulin, which is a hormone released by the pancreas. Insulin allows glucose to move into cells, so the glucose can be used for energy. If glucose doesn't get into the cells, then it will build up in the bloodstream, causing the symptoms of diabetes. According to the National Diabetes Statistic Report 2014, over 29 million Americans had diabetes in 2014, mainly type 2 diabetes, and over 8 million of those people are not even aware that they have it. Available at cdc.gov/diabetes/data/statistics/2014 statistics report.html. Insulin resistance and obesity are usually associated with type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance means that fat, liver, and muscle cells do not respond normally to insulin, and as a result, the pancreas produces more and more insulin. But over time, it isn't able to keep up. Eventually, the pancreas cannot produce enough insulin to cover the increased needs, and then blood glucose levels rise. The diagnosis of prediabetes or diabetes is based on the results of blood glucose testing. More information on prediabetes follows. Type 2 diabetes is a progressive condition that develops in a predictable pattern. Over time, the body's insulin-producing cells gradually lose their ability to function well, and treatments such as oral medications, injectable medications, or both may be needed, in addition to healthy eating, physical activity, and behavior change, to maintain the best blood glucose control. The good news is that the progressive nature of type 2 diabetes often allows you or your healthcare professional to recognize the developing condition in its early stage, known as prediabetes. Making simple lifestyle changes at the point of prediabetes can prevent or delay the development of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes: how diabetes develops. Prediabetes is the first step in the development of type 2 diabetes. In people with prediabetes, blood glucose levels are above the normal range, but below the level at which diabetes is diagnosed. Prediabetes is diagnosed when fasting blood glucose is between 100 milligrams per deciliter and 125 milligrams per deciliter, or the 2-hour glucose value on an oral glucose tolerance test is between 140 milligrams per deciliter and 199 milligrams per deciliter, or the A1C test is between 5.7% and 6.4%. Many people with prediabetes develop type 2 diabetes within 10 years. There are about 86 million people aged 20 years and older with prediabetes in the U.S. If you have prediabetes, then you will be happy to know that it is a condition that responds well to healthy eating habits, weight loss, and exercise. A very large research study called the Diabetes Prevention Program, which included a nutrition counseling component, found that modest weight loss, about 7% of your body weight, and physical activity, at least 30 minutes a day of moderate intensity activity, 5 days a week, reduce the chances of prediabetes developing into diabetes by 58%. Lifestyle changes provided even better results than treating prediabetes with medication. Although some healthcare professionals may recommend a medication to prevent type 2 diabetes, lifestyle changes are always the foundation of diabetes prevention. Energy balance is important in delaying or preventing type 2 diabetes. Balancing energy intake, calories from food and beverages, with energy expenditure through physical activity leads to weight maintenance. Achieving weight loss or weight gain means altering the balance between energy intake and energy expenditure. The energy intake, number of calories you need, is based on your age, gender, height, weight, and physical activity. Since insulin resistance associated with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes is reduced by weight loss, many individuals find they could benefit from dropping a few pounds. To get an idea of your calorie needs until you can meet with a registered dietitian, RD, or registered dietitian nutritionist, RDN, you may find one of these resources helpful. Super Tracker, available at supertracker.usda.gov. This online tool helps you track what you currently eat and drink, gives you a personalized plan for what you should eat and drink, and guides you to make better nutrition choices. MyFitnessPal, available at myfitnesspal.com. This is a free, easy-to-use calorie counter. Type 2 diabetes can be prevented or delayed with lifestyle changes. According to the Diabetes Prevention Program study, modest weight loss, 7% of body weight, plus physical activity, 30 minutes per day, equals 58% reduction in risk for type 2 diabetes. A key point to remember is that preventing or delaying type 2 diabetes requires only fairly small changes in lifestyle. Notice that success doesn't mean starving yourself to reach an ideal body weight or running endless laps. A 7% weight loss translates to losing 14 pounds for someone who weighs 200 pounds. Moderate intensity physical activity equates to taking a brisk walk for about 30 minutes each day, 5 days a week. These goals are small steps toward the bigger reward of good health. As you take these small steps and experience small successes, you will develop more confidence in yourself and your ability to make the changes you need to stay healthy. Simple steps for losing 7% of your body weight. Nutrition goal. Lower your calorie intake while maintaining a healthy eating pattern. Simple step. Drink water or a sugar-free beverage instead of a regular soda or juice drink. By doing this, you can cut out about 250 calories for each 20-ounce drink. Choose foods that aren't fried. The calorie and fat savings can be dramatic. A 2.5-ounce serving of French fries has almost 4 times more calories than a baked potato of the same weight because of its fat content. Nutrition goal. Eat fewer calories from fat. Simple step. Replace high-fat snacks with fruits and vegetables. Keep them cut up and ready to eat on your refrigerator shelf. Use reduced fat, light, or fat-free versions of high-fat foods, such as sour cream, cream cheese, mayonnaise, cheese, and salad dressing. Nutrition goal. Eat more whole grains and dietary fiber. Simple step. Substitute whole wheat pasta, rice, and bread for the more refined white versions. The fiber will help you feel full, so you will be less likely to overeat. Go for whole grains, such as popcorn, quinoa, and whole oats and/or oatmeal, which are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What is moderate intensity physical activity? Your heart rate is the number of times your heart beats per minute. Moderate intensity physical activity causes your heart to beat at 50 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. According to the American Heart Association, your maximum heart rate is about 220 minus your age. If you're 60 years old, your maximum heart rate is about 160 beats per minute. 50 to 70% of your maximum heart rate is about 80 to 112 beats per minute. Examples of moderate intensity physical activity include walking 2 miles in 30 minutes, cycling 4 miles in 15 minutes, water aerobics for 30 minutes, stair walking for 15 minutes, gardening for 30 to 45 minutes, raking leaves for 30 minutes. What to do if you have type 2 diabetes? Type 2 diabetes is a progressive disease. This means that despite your best efforts at lifestyle changes, over time prediabetes can progress to type 2 diabetes, or type 2 diabetes may begin to require treatment with oral medications or injectable medications, in addition to healthy eating and physical activity. This doesn't mean you have bad diabetes or only had a mild case in the beginning. Don't blame yourself if you feel that you didn't take the best possible care of your condition. Would you blame yourself if you needed stronger glasses because your eyesight changed? Because of the progressive nature of diabetes, self-management education with your diabetes team can be customized to provide you with support no matter where you are in your life with diabetes. When diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, you are at increased risk for many serious complications. Some complications of poorly controlled type 2 diabetes are heart disease, cardiovascular disease, blindness, retinopathy, nerve damage, neuropathy, kidney damage, nephropathy, high blood glucose, high blood pressure, and high blood lipids, total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides are contributing factors to diabetes complications. Complications are not always a consequence of high blood glucose. Studies show that the risk for cardiovascular complications is indeed associated with diabetes, but is favorably modified by the control of high blood pressure and the treatment of high blood lipids more clearly than by glycemic control. However, glucose control has been shown to have an impact on retinopathy, nephropathy, and neuropathy. Better health care for those with diabetes has led to the good news that rates of certain diabetes-related complications, heart attacks, ketoacidosis, coma, stroke, amputations, and end-stage kidney disease have dropped in the past 20 years. The American Diabetes Association.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?